What's going on everyone, FG Tech Tips here and welcome back to the channel. And here we are again today with another hard drive review. You probably already saw my Toshiba P300 review and the Seagate Barracuda 8TB review, but I wanted to replace the P300 2TB with a bigger one, and I was looking for the best option I could get in order to get both performance and reliability. So my decision went on the Toshiba N300 4tb, which is a NAS hard drive. I paid only $124 for this beauty on Amazon. As usual, I will leave the link for you guys below in the description of the video. Anyway, this is basically just $10 more than the Toshiba X300 4tb, for example. This is identified as a NAS drive, as we can read from the box, and it is optimized to meet reliability, endurance, performance and scalability requirements of 24/7 high-capacity storage for personal, home office and also small business use. As we can read from the Toshiba website, it is available in capacities up to 16 terabytes, so it will be really able to satisfy the needs of everyone. Being this a 7200 RPM drive with double buffer size than ordinary drives, this in fact has 128 megabytes of buffer, just like for example the P300 3TB. So we can already understand that we are talking about high performances here. So let's jump straight as usual into a quick unboxing and then we will be looking at some bench comparisons and considerations. As we can see, the drive was delivered in a box, which is quite unusual for a hard drive. All my hard drives in the last 20 years were delivered to me just in a classic anti-static bag, but this one, as we can see, has a cool box with detailed specs and information. We can see the N300 is well protected. In the box we find an installation guide and some safety instructions. And obviously the drive itself, which is a standard 3.5-inch drive. It's 720 grams, so just 20 grams more than the P300 3TB, for example. At the back of the box we can see Toshiba identifies these and the X300 drives as high performance disks. But this is not the case for the P300, which is also rated at 7200 RPM, at least for these drives. We can read from the box that the N300 drive series have some features not available in the other Toshiba drives. I'm talking about the RV sensor, but we also have the shock sensor, which is anyway available in other product series too. RV stands for rotational vibration. Basically, the N300 series ensure high reliability by minimizing vibrations thanks to multiple sensors that detect the slightest shock, and built-in RV sensors also compensate for rotational vibration, eliminating the possibility of knock-on vibration in multi-bay NAS configuration systems, for example. The use of high-endurance components is one of the reasons that the N300 series offers better durability than other conventional hard drives. At the same time, we see an automatic adjustment of 6-speed in order to reduce heat during high-temperature operations. We also have Toshiba's dynamic cache technology, cache algorithm with onboard buffer management, which optimizes how the cache is allocated during read and write in order to provide the high-level performance that is required by this drive. Another technology that Toshiba advertises with these drives is the usage of a helium-sealed design, which allows them to achieve on one hand low power consumption, while on the other hand they minimize the acoustic output. Even if here I have something to say about the noise, and we will see about that later on. And now time for some benchmarks. I will post some scores I got with the N300, comparing it with the Toshiba P300 and the Seagate SSHD, which is an older version of the current barracuda. And we also see the Seagate barracuda 8TB, which is an 5400 RPM drive. Starting with the Crystal Disk Mark, we can see immediately that the N300 is the fastest drive, and it has a performance gain of between 6 and 8% over the P300. Looking at AS SSD scores, we see the same increase in performances, and in some tests even more. But it's really in the access time where we see some additional benefits compared to the other drives of the bench. Looking at the average temperatures after several benchmark runs, we see that the N300 is aligned with the P300, while the Seagate SSHD is always 2 or 3 degrees Celsius cooler. In normal usage, we are talking about an average of 34 degrees Celsius on the SSHD drive and 37 degrees on the N300. Anyway, this drive is given with an operating temperature up to 65 degrees. I would also like to spend a couple of words on the noise of this drive, since honestly it was the first thing that surprised me as soon as I installed it in my PC. Unfortunately, with the 30 decibel in idle mode, this drive will be basically noisy even if you're not using it. Which is okay for high performance drives like this one, but I see a huge difference, for example, comparing it with the Seagate SSHD 2TB drive. And it's slightly higher also comparing it to the P300 2TB I reviewed earlier in this channel, which sits at around 27 degrees idle, and I would like to remember that these are all 7200 RPM drives. Anyway, even if I don't have professional equipment for measuring the noise of these drives, I wanted anyway to try with what I have here. So as you see, I used a directional condenser shotgun microphone, pointing it at the drives, and I kept them in the PC case just to give you guys a realistic recording of what you would experience in your daily usage. So I didn't turn off the fans or the water cooling pump, for example, and therefore that noise will partially affect the measurements, but it will give you anyway a good understanding in a real life scenario basically. Therefore, here you can see a comparison between the Seagate SSHD and the N300, and we can already see a difference of 5 decibel in idle mode, which looks like a small difference, but it's really a huge difference in real life. We also have a test under load. I basically copied the 30 gigs folder, and we see that the average and highest noise confirm a difference of 3 or 5 decibel between the two units. Anyway, the noise under full load doesn't bother me too much, it's probably the idle one that counts more. So nothing extraordinary for an high performance drive, but still something you might want to keep in mind in case you are interested in the purchase. So in the end I could say that even if this is a NAS drive born probably more for business purposes, it will be a great hard drive solution also for home and PC gaming systems. You get great performances, tons of space, a bunch of great technologies that should result in longer life and reliability, but only time will tell us. And you also get extended warranty. As mentioned, we have 3 years of warranty in total. If you think you can get it for the same price of an X300 or for example a Western Digital Red, this is obviously a much better choice. I'm honestly using this one for gaming too, and it's really fast in loading, but if you don't play your games at high volume or with headsets and you have your case sitting near you on the desk, the hard drive noise might be distracting sometimes. So that's it for today, guys. Will you buy this drive, or maybe you already own one? Or maybe you wanna let me know your impressions of it? Then write me in the comments below, and please like the video if you found it helpful. Also feel free to take a look to the other videos in my channel and subscribe if you want to be notified for new upcoming videos. But that's all I have for you today, guys. Thanks as always for watching, and see you all in the next video.